cold out here, and that is the little grinder bit that's not been finished yet. And I am now cutting out a piece of aluminium for the 3D printer to make some brackets. And I found a use for the 3D printer already. There's a failed print. I'm going to use it as a template to make what I wanted to print out of metal. And it can't even do that properly. I don't even know where that dot came from. It's look. There's a dot there. I didn't even put it there. I did not even put that dot there. How that got there, I do not know. Unbelievable. Can't even use it as a template. Anyway, I've just been out here and I've used a jigsaw. Okay, just a cheap crap jigsaw. Cost £8 or something like that from Aldi supermarket. You can get one for that. Okay, I've got a nice dewalt drill. I've got a few dewalt drills. I've had that for 15 years and it just carries on going. Even when you use the chuck like I have done here multiple times, it just keeps on going. Anyway, with a handsaw, so for a start, I handsawed out that with a normal hacksaw, and I hacksawed down to there. And then with a jigsaw, I jigsawed that out. And then with a jigsaw, I jigsawed that extra bit out from here. And then with the drill, I drilled some holes, 1, 2, 3, 4 holes, 5, 6, 7 holes. And then with the jigsaw, I have just cut that piece out. So with the Demagnetizer project, I had a piece of scrap that I cut off of another piece of metal. And I thought, that looks like it would be just about the right size if I bend it up. And guess what? It's just about the right size if I cut it up. Alright, I can see what's wrong with it. The relay's burnt out. So the Kepi welder is not going to work today because I am not stripping it down. No way. Gas off. It was off anyway, it's not on. And we're on power level 2, which should be just ample for 2mm wire. 2mm steel, in fact. You can watch me messing about, rolling with the Sealey rollers there. Let's see if we're turned on the mask compartment. Yep. Quite often I'll not have my mask turned on for the first 20 minutes and then we wonder why my eyes are starting to hurt. There we go. So I could do with some more gas. The gas a little bit. Starting to get around to hot bits now. Hopefully this time will stay flat because it's just starting to get a bit we go. I think you saw the 3D model in my last video, one of my previous videos. Now I'm making it in steel and not 3D printing it. It almost looks like the 3D model already. Just going to go zoom, 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 but it's not walk like anything. I'm filling that last bit, there was a gap, that's why it was a bit slower. Let's carry on. There we have it. Turn the gas off before I forget. Right, that, although it's very hot, and I might want something to hold it with, which I haven't got, it is going to be very hot, because it's going to be moving. That is MIG welding. Okay, it's quite beautiful. Ow. Yes, it's getting quite hot. And you know, that's the out of a box, it's going to need dressing off. In fact, I might actually just cut a 10 millimeter rim and put it all the way around the outside of it, and then just make that fully enclosed there and have a 10 millimeter rim around it. And then I can drill and tap that rim for some rubber feet as well. But the things you can do are endless with welding. I've just fabricated a box, you know what I mean? So I've got the switch out, which requires to go in the front, and I've got a little piece of scrap metal which I've just cut off with the hacksaw. Right, there's the hacksaw side, and drilled a hole through. And obviously, as you can see, that will work beautifully. It's all cooled down now. Now I need to get that in there. A couple of criterias are get in the right angle. I mean, I could put it in just like that and just literally just drill a hole through the front there. If you're doing that, then the tool has got a tendency to warp, especially on the more slippery surfaces. If you do 45, there's less tendency of that to happen. A bit out of breath. So the first cut, I've gone down my white line. I found the bottom point, then I've run the chalk across with my finger on the table, and I've gone down my chalk line across the table now. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Yes, I'm out of breath, I've been sawing. Now I'm going to do the same thing across the top here. So it sort of went like that to do that mark. And clearly that side isn't straight, so it's going to be a pure guess. Still need to make it look sort of straight, so around about there I'd say. So side first, side second, side third. Now I've just got to cut in between those two there, and that shouldn't take a lot of fiddling out now. So we're going for the high precision method of welding this on. That is using the best judgment in eye. I don't think it really matters which way it goes on, to be fair, as long as it goes on. And by the time it's on, which is not going to be very long now, last down, last back up again. That's that, that's okay, that's okay. That's okay, that's okay, that's centralised, centralised. Here we go. Looks okay to me. So this is my next harebrained idea. I've had the chalk in and I've had it at the same angle, or approximately the same angle all the way around, and I've marked out that angle all the way around, and that's given me a larger footprint. And my harebrained idea is to put some kind of blocks in between this bit that I cut off and this bit, raise it up, and then put angled pieces in all the way around, so it sort of like flares out at the bottom. It's starting to look good. This is that piece of metal you saw me just chalking up, and I've got enough gap underneath here to be able to take my cut. To do with putting my goggles on, so the goggles, these are the outside goggles, they're not as good as the inside goggles, but they'll do. They might fog up a little bit and unaid my cutting progress. This is the cheapest, crappiest, multifunction, variable speed jigsaw you could possibly buy in the UK. They come out under different guises all the time, and this is crap. Some of the things it does wrong: the blade jumps out from its guide wheel, which is in there, and you can see that, and starts trying to cut through its pin backwards. It's a handy one, you can hear it bog down and slow down when it does that. When I got given it, the person that had it before had stripped the threads, so I've tapped that one the next size up, and this one 2 sizes up, because that's how much metal was left, and there is now no more metal left, so if they break, it's all over for this tool. It has a multitude of speeds, and we're doing steel today, so we've got I'm sure you could hear, that is the lowest speed it does. We're cutting steel, low speeds. It's not wood, it's steel. Head on, we've got to knock at the door. Sorry, it was just the neighbour cutting down the fence and asking for permission. Goggles. There we go. The fan noise in the background is the heater, by the way. If you didn't already know. This noise is this noise. Let's see then. Let's go. Let's do it. Right, now I've got to turn, I've got to curve it around now. So I have to reposition. Hopefully nothing falls off while I'm repositioning. Because it's just wasting a piece of steel, which might be useful for some other reason. So I'm following the inside line, not the outside line here. We're trying to, so I'm going to come down here now and then I'll get these last little bits out some other way. But you've endured enough of that noise. Okay, so now I have drawn around the outside of the box with me marking chalk, and then using the ruler I've marked in 3 centimetres from that. And how's that? I've got these rubber feet which I got off of another device which I've just taken to pieces, and they'll about do the trick. Right, I'm set up with the premium jigsaw again, the heavy duty 500 watt pendulum jigsaw, and I'm going to do that cut, which could do with the hand hacksaw, and that cut again that I could do with the hand hacksaw. Jigsaw did it. Protested a bit. The line isn't exactly straight there, nor here. I might file it, I might leave it, I ain't decided. Probably going to file it a little bit. Yep, I have cut all these little sections out here, and I will weld them on at a angle, and I will make sure that angle is the correct angle that the top bit can sit on and rest, and it will look spliffing. Right, I have cut out all the pieces and just tack welded the loft inlets on. They might fall off, so just tack welded them around, and they're all just touching the sides and constraining the top. So hopefully I'll put it out now without destroying everything. Hopefully. There we go. And that's what I've ended up with. And that is the tack that is important. Hopefully it was good. So this side here, approximately 41mm. That side there, maybe 40.5mm. Drag it in here. Yeah, it's about 40-ish mil, and that's around about 40.5mm. So I think, looking at it, within a millimetre all the way around on height from the top of that to the top of that, and that's all I'm worried about. If I can keep it like that now, I will be happy. So I'm going to go around, tack, 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 and try again. As far as I can see, it's looking good. If I can get my tacks to tack, we'll be alright. This is going to be a little bit of a not very well nicely welded bit, unfortunately. A bit left-handed welding then. One of the tack welds just broke off, as you well heard. But I think I've got enough now. Yep, I've got plenty. Nice welded on, that's at the front. That's fine. That will be nice and dandy. Right, so that's around about 40-ish mil. 40-ish mil. That's a bit high this side. Can we tap it down? Can we? Ooh, calm down. Calm down. That's more closer. Yeah, that's alright, that's okay. I don't know what else has moved doing that. That's close enough. So I've got that roll at the front, all the way across, just there. It's going to need some grinding. Now I'm just going to go around and seam all those gaps in. It's definitely going to fall at some point. Ow, that's very hot. So now I need to do the radiuses, and they won't be happening today because it is going inside and relaxing time. Alright, I couldn't resist it. I had to get the grinder out. I haven't ground it all because I can't get to it all at the moment with just the cheap angle grinder. It's still quite hot, but no, I've ground everything I can ish. Let's see if the switch fits in. I have a feeling it will, otherwise I'm just going to load of welding for no reason. So it'll be easy. Oh, you're not seeing this, are you? The switch is in. I'm not sure, I'm just see if I can, there we go. Can you see the switch in there? I'm not sure if you can see the switch in there. Probably. It's got clearance. There you go, you can see the switch now. We've got lots of clearance now. It was template time. So I have just literally trimmed that until it fits all the way around in that, and when it's bent up it will fit in. with a gap all the way around it so the weld can fill into it. And hopefully that template will fit in there. It will. And that template will fit in there as well. So that's one template for 3. And then the last 3, I will have to make another 2 templates at least, and then do some funky stuff in there. Welding is a technique of adding metal, so these don't have to be perfect, but that is one of 3 that are identical-ish. That is another one. Then 2 of the other ones identical to that, and then this one just fits in that little corner there, so I can chop it out of there. And I've basically whittled the same template down bit by bit until it fitted all of them. Right, all these roughing cuts here. This one hasn't been completely roughed out yet. That's like a starting cut. You can see I've just nipped out a little bit. These are more segmented to show you exactly what is happening there. I don't know if you can still see, yeah, you can still just about see the pencil lines. They're all done with a hacksaw, a standard hacksaw. And then this curvature here, I decided, well, why not? Let's get the junior hacksaw out and do the actual curve. And a bit of filing and trimming later. I suspect that will be good enough, so I am going to start the welding process. So yeah, these are still a little bit big to be absolutely fair. So I might just stick them all together and file them down a little bit, although this one might fit in here. So you get the idea, so it'll be tacked on like that, in that position, and I'll run the weld down the bottom and a little bit at the top, and I'll start bashing it around bit by bit. I don't think I'm going to bother bending them. I think I shall just do what I said there, because once the heat gets inside it, they will conform very easily, just as long as I get the welds right. So the welding technique will be down that line there, cross that line there, cross that little bit there, tap it around a little bit, tack, tack, tap, 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 until it's flat across that side, and then weld, 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 job done. And that will be somebody coming in the air ambulance. We have the air ambulance around my house, and that is the air ambulance. There she is. So someone's near death in that at the moment, coming into the hospital, which is just where you'll see that go down in a second. And that's about it. That's about the hospital. Because I live right next to the hospital, and when that comes in, that's bad. Anyway, back to the proceedings. Yeah, the helicopter's bad. During the wartime, we have Chinooks and big Sea Kings, whatever they are, coming in, bringing troops in as well. And when they come in, they land like a military operation. You'll get 5 of them coming at the same time, and they'll be in and out quicker than this guy here in the air ambulance does just one patient. They don't mess about. They are a military operation. Literally are the military. Anyway, right, I'm going to do some welding. Well, there it is. For better or for worse, it is in position. Obviously it needs a lot of grinding doing, but I'm reasonably happy with that. So, I mean, I'm not making another one, and I can grind it all to pieces and start again if I want to, but I'm happy enough with that. If it goes out of shot at some point, I apologise. I'm obviously concentrating on what I'm doing and not on camera work. So I filed that until it looks about like where it needs to be. Here we go. Moment of truth. First, I'm going to get the angle of the dangler right, so it matches the angle of the first angle, approximately. So tacked in, and I think you can see the angle there. So just check. Yeah, you can see that. Right, so now I'm going to go down and across. Fingers crossed. And I've obviously tacked the top in better. And now it's nice and warm. I've overdone it a little bit, but I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that now. It's not quite perfect, but it's good enough. So I'm just going to weld that all the way in now. And I'm going to do a bit of grinding after I've got it welded in there, because this bit's sticking out a bit too much and I can't do anything about it really. So we'll try and and every pit that you hear there is when I touch the shroud to the casing, because it's a live shroud. Next I'm just going to grind off a bit, so you'll just have to pull it up. All I'm doing with the grind is taking metal away, because I'm going to fill it back in with weld now, and it should be, it's pretty good to be fair, but the proof of the pudding is when I've finished all of the grinding afterwards, and you'll see that. But anyway, I'm going to fill that little grinding section in there now with weld, and then come around the outside of here obviously, and then that will be in, and then I'll just do all the rest, like that one that's finished, that one that's nearly finished, and I'll just do all the rest like that. And then that one there, well, I'll work it out as I'm going along. Alright, we're looking a lot closer now. Looking very good. All my corners are filled in. I just weaved down that to fill that gap in. That should be sufficient. There is an awful lot of grinding to do now and sanding. And if I really like it a lot, after I've done all that, then I may get the filler out and do some filling and make it look really square. It's good enough as it is after grinding. I'm not leaving it like that. Even if it was TIG welded, I wouldn't leave it like that, because you've got all these corner joints and what have you. So I had to get a feeling for whether this was going to be stable or not, and if I press really hard it's going to flat, but a normal press shouldn't be a problem. So I put the feet on like that. I don't know if they're square or not, I just did it by eye. They're about the same equal distance from this centre, which isn't square anyway, but not to worry, that is good enough. Everything is good enough on this. I was going to put that pad in the centre here, but I didn't want that piece of metal there getting anywhere near the wiring here. Although I might move it from there to there for stability purposes. But I think when the motor's on here, the screwdriver's going to drop. You're going to hear it. There you go, the screwdriver's dropped. By the time that's on there, getting that flex, you're really going to. You're just not going to do it. It'll just be normal. It'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. Okay, on to grinding. Obviously I'm not going to grind with them, I'm going to take them back off again now. I thought we'll drill them first, get the feeling for that. And now I've got to get the compressor out and die grind. So for today I have done everything that I'm going to do with the angle grinder. With whatever it is, 75mm grinder, I just can't get into these sections here. So they're going to have to be die grinder. And there's the rest of the unit. And like I say, I may get the filler out and fill it to make it look perfect. Right, there is no chance of getting filler. We're in lockdown, full lockdown again, so I don't think it's worth us going down to get some filler. I've had some aluminium delivered for the 3D printer. I'll just cut that out with a jigsaw and coarse cutting, metal cutting blade. And I've just heated that up for 20 minutes in front of the heater that you can hear behind me, and the paint is currently heating. So I'm going to spray it with some acrylic red. So I've got a runny paintwork because I rushed it. So I've got a filthy hand, so it's going to get dirty straight away. Excuse me. The earth screws already in there. These are the original 4 screws, they're only self-tappers. I suspect around here somewhere I will have a posi drive screwdriver. Excellent. At least black and red looks cool. There, she's on. Shazam! Right, clearly I've got to do some wiring now, and every single motor has different wiring. From what I can tell, this being a single phase motor, I'm going to link the running windings together, and I will pass live and neutral, obviously live through the live side and neutral through the neutral side on those 2 windings. I will leave the other winding, the starting and reversing winding, because this is a reversing motor as well, well it was. I'll leave that winding unplugged. Things could just about to be getting excited. I can't even speak properly, that's how excited I am. So we're going to turn the voltmeter into the 750 volt AC setting and turn it on. Right, we'll try and turn it on. It's on. And I'm going to connect one of the leads, doesn't matter which one, to the casing. Don't know why. And I'm going to touch the switch. Very scientific this is. And now I'm going to touch the switch, and I'm not getting electrocuted. It is switched on. Now I might want to, I'm going to hold the insulated pliers. They are snap-on, and I'm going to hold the insulated pliers. They are electrical, and I'm going to press the button. Well, it hasn't blown the fuse. Now it has. That's it, all the lights have gone out. Okay, we'll not try that again, eh? So the lights are back on, and everything in the house, every clock in the house is going to have to be reset. The microwave's going to have to, the oven's going to have to be reset. Everything's going to have to be reset. I've got to go around and reset everything. I haven't done it yet, but I better turn it off. I don't know if this has gone live. I don't know, so I'm going to turn it off and we'll see what went wrong inside. Something's gone wrong inside. Something's gone wrong. Now I have stripped it down This is the neutral coming in from the mains. This is what I'm using as the neutral, and this is the live coming in from the mains, and that's what I'm using as a live. That's the switch. Obviously I'm splitting the live. I've got 15.9 ohms of resistance through my coil still. That's not a problem. I can't see the problem on the switch here. Let me just connect both leads up onto the switch. So we'll go through all of the ohmerages. So that's 20 mega ohms, 2 mega ohms, 200,000 ohms, 20,000 ohms, 2,000 ohms, 200 ohm setting. No problem there. The switch seems to be perfect. It's working perfectly. But obviously under 250 volts, 240 volts that we've got in the UK here, and the amps that we're going through that, and we can work that out with Ohm's law. The fuse is here. It's a sealed plug, very, very safe sealed plug, high tech it's called, fused, perfectiono. Here is the fuse out of the fuse plug. Here are my leads. I'm set up in ohms, so I should be getting somewhere close to 0. There you go. It hasn't blown the fuse. So before it had a chance to blow the fuse, we've got a ground fault interrupt, and it's blown all the circuit breakers in the house. Now, from all that, there's nothing wrong electrically with the circuit inside it. And the only evidence I've got was what I saw, and I'm sure you saw it as well. I'll look back at the footage. I saw the spark come out of this area here, and to be fair, there's nothing anywhere else apart from some black staining around here. I can still see a little bit just here. I don't know if I can get in on that. I'm not sure. If I put it in the centre of the lens there, I might be able to zoom you in. Let's have a look. So there's a little bit of black stain in there. Sorry about the vibration. Not a lot, but that's where I think the flashover came from. Okay. And when I look inside, you're not going to be able to see this. When I put it on its side like this, then I get my torch. I look inside, yeah, I can see the poo stains inside there. So that's where the arcing was, and that's where the ground fault interrupt came in. Man, I hate it when a plan doesn't come together. So I'm now clipped onto the metal inside there, and beforehand to earth we had about 40 ohms, and to live we had about 60 ohms. Nothing at all now. Calculators here, so we can see how many amps we'll push in. If we get clever about this, we can. Ohms of resistance. What are virgins? Virgins are rare, so it's volts. 240 divided by 15.6, 15 amps, so it's still pushing 15 amps, which is a lot of power. Right, it is back together again. It's now got 47 ohms of resistance, so let's see what that is. 240 divided by 47.5 equals, it's now drawing 5 amps, so it's a lot less powerful. I'm still not pressing that button. So I'm using the extra long insulated pliers, and I'm holding them right at the end like that, and then I'm going to press the button with these insulated pliers and we'll see what happens this time. Okay, it goes on. 1, 2, 3. That's about as much as you're going to do. 3 seconds. Let's try 10 seconds. Let's get a thermometer. No way. I've seen it do something wrong already, and I don't like it. Anyway, here we go. So I've got the insulated pliers, and I've got the insulated pliers. So there's no touching the switch. It's on. And yes, the heat is going up. 24, 26, 27, 30, 31, 32, 34, 36. Yeah, the heat's going up and up and up and up and up. And that's definitely enough time there now. Easily enough time. 0.6. Now it's going back down again, 59.4. So I might want to get a fan blowing through it. It's got a lovely aluminium casing. So I might get a big case fan for the back of it, because this isn't going to get hot, but it would be a good idea to cool down the windings. And if you're using this repeatedly during the day, it's going to heat up quite rapidly. Now I've got to see if it can demagnetize something. First things first, I've got some nitrile gloves on. They will not protect you. Then I've got some chemical gloves, because I've got no proper electrical gloves. But I'm guessing rubber insulated gloves on top of rubber gloves will protect me to a certain extent from the terror that is 240 volts. Right, we have a quality span here. It is brittle, it's a 15mm. I've got some iron filings down here and I can pick them up like that. Yeah? And I think you'll see they're magnetised. Yeah? Get them off. It's quite annoying having a spanner that magnetises. This is still switched on, it's still live. So, we've got to try it. There's no point in having it and not trying it, so we'll put it inside. Look at beauty, okay. That's it, it's demagnetised. Hooray! Yeah, it's a bit scary, isn't it, when it touches the metal. So I need something, oh yeah, amazing. Yeah, that's just a scratch inside it. Let's try the other side. It's completely demagnetised. Or demagnetise something else. Very scary as it touches the metal. Very scary. It's gone up from 20, it's gone up 2 degrees just to demagnetise that. Very happy. Right, calm down. It works. So that's just one winding. I've tied all the earths together and I've gone for the highest resistance winding inside it to bring me down to amperage. Use Watt's law and Ohm's law and just find the winding that you want. I think I've just worked out that this is drawing 5 amps. Can't remember, don't care, I know it works now. I do not want to press any of these buttons until it's safe. It works, that's the main thing. So I need to isolate that button there from the mains voltage. I don't want to be pressing that button, it's got mains voltage in it. I'm quite happy to touch the casing, it's earthed. Okay, if there's any faults with the circuit at all, touching this casing with the least of your problems, because the ground fault interrupt will cut in and blow all the circuits in the house, as you've seen already once happen. And it didn't even blow the fuse. I know it's a 13 amp fuse, but it was drawing 15 amps, this baby. We've done the maths, we've shown you. So me resting my hand on top of this casing is safe in the UK. Couple of things. if I'm going to be using this a lot, it needs cooling down. So I might want to put a cooling fan on the back end here. Probably a good idea. Secondly, I don't want to be touching this switch. I'm going to use this switch, but I don't want to be touching this switch with 240 volts going inside it. I've got a solid state relay here. They always, can you still see that solid state relay? I'm not sure, probably. Now you can see it. They tend to fail in the always on position, which is quite annoying.